Walk, Ben.
Someone might.
This is how I used to serve. There, and I serve, and when the ball went on the other side, they didn't have time to hit it. They came back again to me. But I can't do it anymore. My mother was Greek, and my father was English, British by birth. I was British by birth. When I was born, it was the First World War. The Turks were killing all the Greeks and all the populations. My father put me in a basket, and the British warships came and took all the British subjects away from there, just in time before they killed us. My mother died when I was 1 year old. My father never got married again. I stayed 6 years there with some relatives of my father. They looked after me, and then we went back to Greece. My grandmother brought me up, my mother's mother, until I was 19 or 20 years old when I left. I stayed with her from the time I was 6 years old. Athens is always an international city, like Cairo, like London, like only in a smaller scale. We had modern theaters, we had restaurants, good restaurants, bad restaurants. Old Athens, the new Athens, it was things that they don't have here. I used to sing in the big cathedral, Catholic cathedral in Athens, next to our school, and I had a very good, strong voice on the choir. Musicals, American musicals, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, I used to like that. But always we used to like dramas, French dramas, beautiful. The French actors were very good. I used to enjoy opera, the songs and everything. All Italian singers, and the war spoiled everything. I didn't know that I have to leave Greece. The Germans were 1 or 2 days outside Athens. You could hear the firing, and we left with the last 2 boats, all the British subjects, the refugees. A friend of mine came in his car and said, "Come on, as you are, we have to leave Athens because the Germans are coming. Otherwise we'll be prisoners, civil prisoners of war." My father was on one boat and I was on another boat, and we went to Egypt, to Alexandria. We stayed in Alexandria for a few days, and then they took us to Cairo as refugees. And the British government put us in hotels, good hotels, and they were paying us pocket money every week. When I decided to go to India from Egypt, India was under the British. Egypt was a neutral country. So as soon as we go to India, instead of looking after us as refugees, we were enlisted in the army. They wrote down volunteers, but we were not volunteers. They pushed us in. Dirty trick, that. I joined the Scottish Regiment, the 2nd Battalion, the Border Regiment. We were going to Burma, and we got on a boat. I'll never forget that. The boats, about 10,000-ton boats, or 15, I don't remember. That many soldiers there, guns and all that, and the boat was like that. We were going out of Calcutta, and we were going to make a landing in Burma. One bomb, a cannon bomb, the boat would go down. You've got no idea. Anyway, when we went halfway, it came through that the Japanese occupied Burma. Before we got there, the boat turned around, came back. We all prayed, God, thank you. That's what I say. I was very lucky. I was meant to live. I wasn't meant to go. We were there till we were discharged. I was ready to go to America because I had an uncle there, and they had the papers ready. Instead, I got a telegram from Australia, a good friend of mine. Instead of going to America, I went to Australia. That's how I came here, by boat. It took a long time. We had a couple of submarine, not attacks, enemy submarines. We were in a convoy of a lot of boats. And we came to Fremantle, stayed there for 2 nights, and then we went to Melbourne, and then from there to Sydney. And when I arrived here, the first different thing I saw, when I saw women conductors in the, I've never seen women doing jobs like men, you know. I was very surprised. When I went to Australia, the person who brought me to Australia, my friend, we were like brothers, he had a coffee lounge with his father. And I got in the coffee lounge with him. They taught me how to cook, how to serve people. And my future wife used to come for her breakfast every morning. She was just discharged from the Air Force, and I saw her every day. And because she was so cheeky, people waiting to be served, and she used to run in front all the time. And we come to know each other, that's all. My upbringing was different to the average English or other nationalities. I was taught that once you're married for life. And I went with my wife, with my future wife, for 3 years. We both decided to know each other well before we get married. If something I don't like in her and something she doesn't like on me. And after 3 years, 3.5 years, we found out that we can live with each other. Although we had a couple of small fights, you know, but that was it. That's my wife. That's another favorite. I like it very much. That when I first met her, she looked like that. And when she passed away, she looked like that. She still have the youthful face, always smiling. I thought the world of my wife, and she thought the same with me. When you're married for so long, only a few months off 70 years, my wife got sick and she passed away after a couple of years. I have to stop for a little while because I'm overcome. I'm very emotional. Anyway, she was a nice person. I couldn't find any faults on her. She devoted herself for me and her family and all that. Although I was a migrant, at first they didn't know me, but when they came to know me, I was one of them. That's it. I miss my wife. I'm living with you now, with my son, and I enjoy watching the grandchildren, but it's not the same like you bring up amongst your family. Something is missing and you don't know what it's missing. To be in a new country without knowing the language properly, to be penniless, it's very hard to go to a country that you don't have any contacts. My contacts were one or two, very few. And you don't know where the next dollar comes from. It's very, very hard. The factories was better for me because I was one in a crowd and all English, no Greeks or anything like that. And I had to pick up all the slang language and the swear words and everything. And also I learned the trade. That I told them that I was tradesman. I wasn't a tradesman. I didn't have a clue. I was asking the others what to do. The machine I was working, and they tell me I knew. Next time somebody else I knew. I pretended my way through, that's all. I lied, I said a lot of lies. Where's your papers and all that? And I had to swim when the Germans came in. I didn't even have clothes to wear. Bullshit. They were feeling sorry for me. Oh, David, it's not easy, you know. Life wasn't easy. Oh, God help. I don't think I'll be here, but next war will be the destruction. They used to say the same for this war, if there's another war, but atomic bombs and all that. Can you imagine a bomb in New York with all these tall buildings? It'll be the end of the world, I think. God help us. Everybody has the atomic bomb now. That's why people are silly. Instead of being nice, to be free, to travel to any country and all that, they're fighting about borders and then... Anyway. I would like to see more respect with each other, you know. And you should respect somebody's religion. You should respect dark people. You should respect Chinese. You should respect any nation at all. If I suffer in any way, I'd like to see you happy, and Emily. Go out, enjoy yourself while you're young. Enjoy your children while they're young. Even here that I am, Ben and Nina, they grew too quick. Before I know where I am, I feel like I came yesterday here. Look at them. I was looking at Ben and Nina. They're not that high now. They're up there. They changed. So enjoy them now. I wish I knew what's after death. Is it still? Are we still there? I was brought up to believe in God and Jesus, but people that they were very religious, something happens and they change. I don't know what to say. There's a lot of answers, a lot of questions I have, but nobody can give the answers. I'm a drop in the ocean. Like everybody else, I go too.